What are DevOps best practices? Key DevOps best practices include infrastructure, as code IA/C continuous integration and continuous deployment, SI/CD monitoring, and logging automated testing security as code. What is the purpose of infrastructure as code IA/C? IA/C enables automated and consistent provisioning of infrastructure using tools like Terraform, CloudFormation, and Ansible. Why is version control important in DevOps? Version control, e.g., Git, helps track changes, collaborate effectively, and roll back if needed. What is continuous integration, CI? CI is the practice of frequently merging code, changes into a shared repository, and automatically testing them. What are the key components of a CI/CD pipeline? Code, commit, build, test, deploy, monitor. What is the difference between continuous deployment and continuous delivery? Continuous delivery, automated testing, but manual deployment approval. Continuous deployment, fully automated release process. What is the importance of automated testing in DevOps? Automated testing ensures code quality, catches bugs early, and speeds up deployment. What is the purpose of monitoring in DevOps? Monitoring tools, e.g., Prometheus, Grafana, Elk, track system performance and detect issues in real time. What are blue-green deployments? A deployment strategy where two environments, blue and green, run simultaneously, allowing easy rollback in case of failure. What is the role of logging in DevOps? Logging helps in troubleshooting, analyzing trends, and ensuring application reliability. What is shift-left testing in DevOps? Shift-left means testing earlier in the development lifecycle to catch bugs sooner. What is feature flagging? Feature flags allow enabling or disabling features without deploying new code. What is immutable infrastructure? Infrastructure that is replaced rather than modified to ensure consistency. What are rolling deployments? A deployment strategy that gradually updates instances to avoid downtime. What is canary deployment? A method where new changes are rolled out to a small subset of users before a full deployment. What are microservices and how do they impact DevOps? Microservices are small, independent services that allow faster development, scalability, and easier deployments. How do you manage secrets in DevOps? Using secret management tools like HashiCorp Vault, AWS Secrets Manager, and Kubernetes Secrets. What is GitOps? A DevOps practice where Git is the single source of truth for infrastructure and application deployment. Why is containerization important in DevOps? Containers provide portability, consistency, and efficient resource utilization. What is the 12-factor app methodology? A set of best practices for building scalable, cloud-native applications. How do you handle configuration management in DevOps? Using tools like Ansible, Puppet, and Chef to automate configurations. How do you ensure high availability in a cloud-based architecture? Using load balancing, auto-scaling, multi-region deployments, and failover mechanisms. What is the difference between monolithic and microservices architectures? Monolithic, a single large application; microservices, independent services communicating over APIs. How do you monitor microservices effectively? Using distributed tracing Jaeger, centralized logging Elk, and service mesh Istio. How do you secure a CI/CD pipeline? Use least privilege access, store secrets securely, scan dependencies for vulnerabilities, implement code signing. What are some common DevOps anti-patterns? Siloed teams, manual deployments, lack of monitoring, ignoring security. How do you implement DevSecOps? Integrate security into every stage of development using tools like Sonar, Quebe, Snike, and Trivy. What is a service level agreement, SLA? An SLA defines the expected level of service, including uptime and response times. How do you ensure compliance in DevOps? By automating security checks, auditing, and following regulatory frameworks like GDPR and SOC 2. What is a chaos engineering experiment? Intentionally injecting failures into a system to test its resilience, e.g., Netflix's Chaos Monkey. How do you reduce deployment downtime? Using rolling updates, blue-green deployments, and zero downtime migrations. How do you handle database migrations in CI/CD? Using tools like Flyway, Liquibase, or Django migrations in an automated pipeline. What is an API gateway and why is it used? An API gateway manages API requests, security, and load balancing in microservices. How do you implement infrastructure testing? Using tools like Terratist for Terraform, Inspec, and Pester. How do you manage multi-cloud deployments? Using Terraform, Kubernetes, and cloud-agnostic tools like HashiCorp Vault and Istio. What is the difference between SLO and SLI? Slow service level objective, a target level of reliability, e.g., 99.9% uptime, SLI service level indicator, a measurable metric, e.g., response time. How do you manage dependencies in DevOps? Using dependency managers like pip, npm, maven, and scanning tools like Snike and OWASP dependency check. How do you handle rollback in a Kubernetes environment? Using kubectl rollout undo deployment. What are the best practices for writing Docker files? Use lightweight base images, minimize layers, avoid hard-coding secrets, use multi-stage builds. What is FinOps in cloud computing? A practice for optimizing cloud costs and budgeting efficiently. How do you implement policy as code in DevOps? Using tools like Open Policy Agent OPA and HashiCorp Sentinel. How do you handle incident response in DevOps? Using an on-call rotation, alerting, and postmortems. What is Site Reliability Engineering, SRE? A discipline that applies software engineering principles to system reliability. How do you enforce security compliance in a DevOps pipeline? By integrating security scanning, linting, and automated compliance tests. How do you manage hybrid cloud environments? Using tools like Anthos, Azure Arc, and Terraform. What is an SBOM software bill of materials? A list of all components in software used for security analysis. How do you implement auto-remediation in DevOps? Using AWS Lambda, Ansible, or Kubernetes operators to fix issues automatically. How do you secure a Kubernetes cluster? Use RBAC role-based access, control-enable pod security policies, rotate TLS certificates. How do you optimize cloud costs in a DevOps environment? By using spot instances, auto-scaling, and right-sizing resources.